It's his first kill, and the self-proclaimed genius hasn't even figured out how to clean it up yet. Panicking, he rushes back to the hotel, planning to pack up and run. But when the hotel clerk mistakes him for Dickie, it suddenly sparks an idea. If Dickie is gone, then he'll become Dickie. After all, most people only know the Greenleaf name and have never actually met him. At that critical moment, Ripley's gift for imitation finally proves its true value. Back in his room, Ripley writes a letter in Dickie's voice, then signs it in his handwriting. He then finds Marge and hands her the letter. He lies, saying Dickie asked him to deliver the letter and bring a few things to Rome. Poor Marge reads the letter and thinks Dickie ran away because she pushed him too hard about marriage. She has no idea her fiancé is already dead and that his killer is standing right in front of her. Watching her reaction, Ripley feels satisfied. It's clear she believes the handwriting is real. The next day, Ripley returns to Rome and checks into a luxury hotel using Dickie's passport. Then he uses his own passport to book a room at a different hotel. He switches between identities, leaving voicemails for each hotel using 2 completely different voices. Since it's all done through voicemail, small-time gaps don't seem suspicious. By the time everything comes to light, the police won't suspect him. Once that's done, Ripley starts spending Dickie's money without restraint. What he doesn't expect is to run into Logue at a clothing store. A lie he once told about being Dickie suddenly works in his favor. Rich kids from America and Italy may not know each other personally, but they've all heard the names. As they talk, Ripley learns that Logue also knows Freddy, which makes him nervous. He might be able to fool others, but there's no way he could deceive Freddy, the one who knows Dickie best. Luckily, Logue mentions that Freddy isn't in Rome right now, and Ripley finally breathes easier. Ripley then says he's broken up with Marge and plans to stay in Rome for a while. It's not because he cares about her doing this, simply gives him a sense of satisfaction. Using his flawless impersonation skills, Ripley withdraws money in front of Logue, even though the photo barely looks like him. His composure and natural manner convince the bank clerk completely. That only reinforces his cover. Logue never suspects the man in front of him is a fraud. That night, Logue invites Ripley to the opera, and the story of brothers turning on each other deeply stirs him. But soon he sinks back into the illusion, as if he truly is Dickie. Still, a fake is a fake. It can never become real. On his way to the restroom, Ripley accidentally bumps into a man, and standing beside him is Marge. The man introduces himself as Peter, a close friend of Marge's. Seeing this, Ripley quickly hides his hand behind his back and slips off the ring. The ring was a gift from Marge to Dickie, and Dickie once said he would never take it off. Seeing Ripley there, Marge assumes Dickie must be with him. Ripley quickly denies it, joking that Dickie doesn't even like opera. Marge knows that too, but something still feels off to her. Dickie wouldn't just leave her without even showing his face. That's not his style. Ripley notices the man nearby seems to know Logue, so he looks for an excuse to slip away. Ripley says he'll explain everything the next morning at the agreed location. In the brief moment he turns around, Ripley comes up with a plan. While Marge isn't paying attention, he sneaks back into the opera house, finds Logue in a hurry, and asks her to go for a walk. He does this solely to keep her from running into Marge at the theater. Once they're in the carriage, Ripley says he's broken up with Marge and doesn't want to see her. Logue says she understands. Ripley kindly walks her home and sets a time and place to meet again. By coincidence, the time and place match exactly what he arranged with Marge. At 10 o'clock the next morning, Logue is already waiting at the meeting spot. At that moment, Marge and Peter arrive as planned, and Logue clearly recognizes them. When Marge realizes Dickie was at the opera the night before with Logue, she understands he truly wants to leave her. Seeing Dickie's fiancée, Logue suddenly understands. Dickie set this meeting up on purpose. She immediately realizes Dickie wants her to back off, so she doesn't linger and walks away. As Logue leaves, Ripley, who's been hiding nearby, steps out at just the right moment. It's a clever move. Without confronting her directly, he successfully eases Marge's suspicions. After that, he can freely continue using Dickie's identity. Although Logue is gone, it actually lowers his risk of exposure, which works in his favor. Over the next few days, Ripley rents an apartment with Dickie's money, buys a few things, and enjoys a decent Christmas. But just as he's absorbed in playing the piano, there's a sudden knock at the door. Ripley rushes over and peers through the peephole. Freddy is standing right outside. He frantically tries to take off the ring on his finger, but fails, so he shoves his hand into his pocket. When Freddy sees Ripley answering the door, he immediately finds it odd. Ripley says Dickie went out to eat, but Freddy knows Dickie better than anyone. He never eats dinner on schedule. While Freddy looks around the apartment, Ripley slips into the bathroom and removes the ring with soapy water. Freddy isn't as easy to fool as Marge. He knows how badly Dickie wants Ripley gone. There's no way Dickie would let Ripley stick around this long. so Freddy is convinced something's happened to him. Faced with Freddy's questioning, Ripley can only smile and stay silent. The more he says, the more he risks exposing himself. Just when Ripley thinks the danger is about to pass, Freddy runs into the landlord on the stairs, who says Dickie is upstairs. When the landlord greets Ripley but calls him Dickie, Freddy finally realizes Ripley has been lying. Freddy rushes back upstairs to confront Ripley, never realizing it will cost him his life. After confirming Freddy is dead, Ripley deliberately waits until people are downstairs, then drags Freddy's body out. He loudly complains about Freddy's terrible drinking habits, then mimics Freddy's voice, talking back to himself. He creates the illusion that Freddy was still alive, then dumps the body outside the city. That's it for today's breakdown. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.